Hi, welcome to Soultiful. And today we are sitting with Mrs. Janet Jack. Today we're going to talk about our um, most asked question: how to start a VA business. My name is Latoya.
I'm Nakia.
I'm Toya.
I am Janet.
All right, so ladies, what are y'all working on?
I worked on client work all day.
I have not worked on anything today. I'm just getting logging in for the day.
I worked on some social media graphics. I've also met with my mentor today.
Nice, what's
Awesome.
up? I've been doing a lot of stuff today, mostly in the house today, but I did pop in and out to do a little bit of work here and there. So, yes. Anyway, let's get into the meat of this today. So, what is a virtual assistant? Let's start there because some people actually don't know.
Oh,
No, it's confusing at times too.
What's your version of a virtual assistant, Miss Janet?
A virtual assistant to me is someone who can provide any type of administrative services, including social media, but not limited to um, office skills within a company, but in a virtual platform.
very
Mm,
good
I love it.
definition.
How about you, Nakia? What's your definition? Is it
I
anything?
was gonna say
And
this a similar thing. That any service that you need performed virtually, because it could be marketing, it could be branding, it could be graphic design. So any service that you can provide virtually is to me a virtual assistant.
Toya?
Yeah, I agree. I believe that the virtual assistant is really like the industry, but it encompasses pretty much a myriad of different type of services that you can do, from the comfort of an internet connection, wherever you are.
Mhm.
Yes, my definition of a virtual assistant is I am a partner with any business. I can do all of the tasks that a business would need administratively, maybe even customer relations, just any task that the owner of the business just don't have time to do. That's where a virtual assistant can step in and help as a partner, not an employee. That is a big one.
That is
A
big.
lot of times we get categorized under employee, and that is not what we are. We are business partners, we're team players, we're the same as you are.
Yes, business owners.
Yes. All right. So let's move on. What's one of the first steps that you should take to before you start a VA business?
I think that you should determine your business plan, decide your business structure, come up with your name, those type of things.
Yes. What about you, Toya?
What's one of the first things one ought to do when they think about starting this business? I think you need to think about what you want to do, what type of service you want to provide, and whom you want to provide it to.
Mhm.
So I think that's important because you know me, this business is supposed to be fun, and it's I think that we a lot of times we want to. Well, I'm saying in this climate, people are starting it because they want to make money from home. They don't want to go back to work. But I think you need to be very mindful of who you want to serve because serving the wrong people, wrong personality types, it can be a
Right.
horrid
Everybody's
situation.
not your client.
That's right. Everybody's not your client.
What you
Yeah,
think, Miss Janet?
I pretty much feel the same way. I think you need to assess your skills depending upon where you came from. You might already have administrative services or social media or whatever your skills were prior to. So I think you should hone in on those skills. Now, if you don't like those skills, then no, then don't hone in on them. But I think you should use them to decide how will you propel from them. So if you were just before a regular customer service who just took calls, maybe do you feel at this particular time, okay, I can take calls, but I can also make calls and make persuasive calls. So I think you need to assess who you are, what you were, and then where you want to go, and then start from there.
You better let them know, Miss Janet. Yes. Yes, yes. Let's talk about our journey when we started. Who
Okay,
want to go first?
I'll go first. My journey started because my daughter was in an accident and I wanted to make some extra money to pay a bill in regards to the accident. So I decided to figure out what things I could do that were fun. And I enjoy my job, so I decided to become a virtual assistant and do the same thing that I do at work. So I've been an administrative assistant for 25 years and I'm still an administrative assistant, so I still work. And my journey was really scary and lots of stuckness. I started my business in December of 2017. I don't remember getting a client until like June of 2018. So that's like 6 months that I didn't get a client. Um, and then even with the client, it felt like it was charity because it was a friend who hired me. So it was charity, but it still was real work. So I mean, I still counted as a client. But my journey had a lot of ups and downs in it, and at times I felt like I wanted to quit, and at times I felt like it was the best thing ever, and I wanted to quit the regular job. So I've really enjoyed the journey. Um, I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of good people. I know way better now what I'm willing to put up with. I know way more now what I'm willing to do. When I first came in, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do social media. I'm going to do social media. I'm going to do social media," and now I don't do social media. Not that I can't or I don't know how. It's just not my zone of genius. I really do prefer the administrative work. I can do other things, but I prefer to stay happy in my business.
I love what Nakia said. You know, she tried different things. She thought social media was it. And when she decided that that wasn't, she just stopped doing it and did and focused on her in her zone of genius, what she enjoys. And I hope people understand that no matter what the business is, it can be enjoyable. It does. You don't have to loathe it like you made your job, you know. And so, yeah, I just love the possibilities within this industry. You know, so much different things we can do. So my journey, uh, I try to think. I remember I was sitting in Fort Lauderdale, and me and the homegirl Patrice, shout out Patrice if you're there. We were just trying to think of like, man, we need to start a business. We got to do something. You know, just tired of the possibility of getting fired or not having work or just like depending on the boss or getting help from family members when we're having a financial situation, understanding that we are highly intelligent women, black women, and like together we could do this. We didn't know what this was, but I said, you know what? Let's do bookkeeping. You know what I'm saying? We know how to. You've done some bookkeeping. I know a little bookkeeping. So we started out going to the library, looking up like what that entails. Started and got some certifications like Zero certified. I think she got QuickBooks certified, and had been a notary for years. So I said, okay, that makes sense, notary and bookkeeping. So I maintained that, or I made sure that everything was good to be a mobile notary, and that's how I started out. But when I got out in these streets, when I got out in these internet streets, it was very clear that that was not fun for me. I did not want to keep people's books. Once I got into it, it's like, what is this? Like, it was so dry for me. And it was like, mm-mm. And so I was already working. I was already working in social media. So, like I think Janet mentioned, it made sense for me to go back to kind of doing that. I liked it fine. And there's other avenues that I had not explored because I didn't have the ability in my job. They didn't give me those parts. So I said, okay, well, there's other aspects. Let me look at that. Let's look work in lead generation and social media. And so I started to kind of explore those avenues and started to connect and with these beautiful ladies here and others. And I was able to, just focus on that aspect of virtual work, social media. That's how I started.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, you all have such nice, good stories. Unfortunately for me, it didn't work that way. How I progressed into this is due to COVID.
Mm.
I was an administrative assistant at a popular radio station in the city that I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And due to COVID, I lost my job. So with me losing my job, the first couple of months, I chose to take that time to just study and kind of reassess. Plus, I was going through the passing of my mother, so my heart was
Mm.
heavy and I was an emotional roller coaster.
Mm.
So anyway, my pastor just kept saying, "I see a business in you. I see a business in you." And I love talking to people. So
Mhm.
it was kind of hard for me the 3 months that, okay, we're not going back to work. Not so much the money, but I miss interaction. I'm the organizer. I keep everybody on schedule. I miss that. So when I realized that, okay, the government is not doing what they are supposed to be doing, we're not going to talk about that right now. I had to decide what was going to be my next plan. And so with that decision, I went into fasting and praying, and the Lord told me it's time to start your business because I already had the name. I just hadn't focused or honed in on it because I'm Jamaican and we're taught you be loyal. You get your job, you stay at your job till you're dead, you'll get your insurance. So those are
Mm.
the things that were ingrained in my brain. So I didn't really, I conceived the notion of entrepreneurship, but didn't really act on it. And so now I'm here at this place where I'm acting and executing on it to
Hey.
take care of my family.
Acting and executing.
Yes.
Yes, love it.
Um, well, this journey came, I guess you want to say it was a long time coming, but I worked call center for years. Oof, I get shivers thinking about it. Worked call center
Ain't
for
it?
years.
I ain't going back, sis. I ain't going back.
Oof.
This got to work.
I wanted out. I wanted out so bad. I could not take it anymore. I did not want to take not one more phone call. Whoa, I did not. But I know that I had something that I could offer. But like we say, we stay where we are familiar. So I was like, well, you know what? I'll take calls, but I'll take calls from me. I won't take calls for another company. If I take calls for a company, it'd be for me. Yeah, that didn't work either. I don't want to take no more calls. Not even for me. I don't even want to. It didn't work. Flop, fail. No, didn't work. But in that same journey of figuring out that just that ain't for me, I met these young ladies, Mrs. Nakia and Toya, and we are in a group together, a virtual assistant group, VASL, Virtual Assistant System.
Woo woo. VSL, one love.
Okay, so in that group, I saw that everyone could do any, like they had so many different pieces of this virtual world that they could offer to their clients. And I was like, other than phones, what else can I do? But then I thought about it. I said, well, Toya, well, duh, you have a degree in business administration. You were administrative assistant for a year. I mean, you do know some stuff, so let's start there. And then they hit me with the what is your niche? That's another question that has to be answered before you start your VA business. I mean, you can jump in and not know, but it'll be a little difficult. You'll be going around in a circle. So it's
I
good
dig it.
habit to think about that first before you jump in.
Yeah.
And it could change. It's okay. If it changes, it changes. But at least you went in with the game plan. Niche, it's the specific targeted audience that you want to work with. So I think Nakia used the word avatar the other day. I was like, what? But who's your ideal client? And I had to think and ask myself, who would I not mind working for, even if they did not pay me a dime? Because that person is the person I'm going to be most passionate with. And that's the person that I'm going to show up for, whether it's a paid gig or not, because it's something that I love. And
Mhm.
if anyone knows me, I mean, the beauty industry is my heart. So I was like, oh, there it is. But I was like, can I really do that for the beauty industry? Like, I couldn't get it, didn't click, it didn't make sense just yet. So after me jumping in and reaching out and seeing possibilities, I'm like, oh, I think this can work. And it's not something that you might see right away. You might not see it right away, but just keep going, keep pushing, keep going, keep pushing, keep going. And then bam,
Damn.
you're gonna hit a client. You be like, wait a minute, did they just pay me to do that? Did they just pay me to do that? Wait a minute, hold up. Is that a check in my account? Yes. And then they start coming and coming and coming. So um as a virtual assistant now for, well, officially since last November, I've learned so much. There's a lot of information out there. When you first start, you're gonna get bombarded with
Yeah.
information. You're gonna be swimming in information, and it's hard to figure out what pieces you need right now and what pieces you need to put on the shelf for later. That's a very
Real thing.
that's a very time consuming task to get through that whole tunnel of information. But if you happen to find a group as awesome as the one we are a part of, shameless plug, VASL, we are the stuff. I swear I learned so much in this group. I learned tools that I never knew before. Um, I mean, you just gotta touch it. You gotta jump in. You gotta be all in. You gotta tear it up a little bit, and then you make it. It's okay though, because it's yours. We can't fire you. Ain't nobody
That's
gonna fire
right.
you. Tear it up. Who cares? Make it right.
That's right.
Go ahead. Y'all chime in. Y'all chime in.
I think you need to also, what, on the niche part, I'm kind of deciding whether niche really should be your industry or your skill. The reason why I say that is because yes, you should know who your target audience is, but if your target audience is anybody, that means that anybody can call you and tell you, I need a virtual assistant. And that virtual assistant, it could be for digging up concrete, but you have to know what that's the, well, you have
Yeah.
to know what you're
Niche has to be very specific. That's right.
right.
Niche has
And then with the specificness of it, you have to know what you are truly capable of. If you're truly capable of selling, that means you can pick up the phone, you can talk to the person, you can get them to buy, you can get the check, then you are specific in sales. But if you can only pick up the phone to make the call, but you can't get them to you, that's sales is not for you. Then you more maybe customer service. So
Mhm.
I think as I'm one of the newer people in it, and the more that I am starting to research and study, some of the words and the verbiage that we use, I think sort of could mislead someone if they don't have their own intellectual property within themselves to decide, okay, yes, I have a niche, and yes, I'm more proficient in this industry, but that's not to say that I couldn't take these same skills and talent and utilize it in another industry. That's just what I have found over the last couple of months through my study and preparation.
That is true, but what we're talking about in when we're saying niches, we're talking about your message. You don't want to be talking to everyone. You want to be talking to someone specific. So when we say niche, we're talking niche so that you know what to say to those people to get clients. You could get clients from anywhere. You can get all kinds of clients, but the clients that you want to talk to are the clients that you that are in your niche. Does
Because
that make sense?
when your messaging is not clear and specific, you're not talking to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You want to, you know, for instance, I'm in that pivoting uh, arena, or a place where I'm niching down, because I was like you said, Jen, my niche was the service that I provided, but now I'm niching down to a specific group of people, and it's going to be so much easier just to talk to those people. My messaging will be very clear and concise to them, so they will know that I'm theirs and they're mine. You know, if I don't say their name, they don't know that I'm talking. If you know, if I don't say, you know, physician, if I don't say coach, they don't, you know, really know. And it just helps. It is so much more easier for everybody when you're talking specifically
I think they
to
need
a
to
person.
change that word to more target audience, or because I think target artist gives you a broader prospect of where you can go as opposed to niche. That's just my personal. But I know I came from the entertainment industry, actually in radio, and
Mhm.
in radio we use more of our demographics or our target audience.
And
Those were
go
those
ahead.
are the terminology that we use to hone in onto where we needed to broaden our scope. So I think that for somebody who's new, I think that helps you relax more, because the niche at first made me nervous because I was like, oh, uh, 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 I don't know about this
I
niche.
get that.
I don't.
Ain't that the same thing
However,
though? Target audience and niche.
No, when you're doing your ideal client has demographics. When you're doing your client avatar, your ideal client, whatever one you want to call it, you hone in on where does this person work? Where does this person hang out? How much money does this person make a year? Because you need to know these things so you know they can afford your services. So you can go to where they are so that you know what they're looking for and what they're listening for, what they're searching for. So the client avatar and the niche go hand in hand, but they are two separate things.
Is there another name for client avatar? There's
Ideal
something
client,
else?
I guess it's ideal client.
All right, cool.
Or persona. Some people say client
Yeah,
persona.
they do. So earlier Toya was talking about that, you know, when you get that first check, or you know, how did y'all feel the first time I made money online? It may have been like a product or something, but just the fact that like we can use our gifts and our talents, we can hone up in our calling, and we can make money like out of nothing
Yeah.
from that. You know, I think that's like the coolest.
Email is my favorite email.
Which one? PayPal,
Email, you got money?
PayPal,
That's my
Stripe.
favorite email.
Yes.
unfortunately, I haven't been blessed yet. Well, blessed on top of blessed, but I'm still waiting. So I'll
You
let
getting
you know
this,
how it
sis.
Yeah.
feels when I get it. Okay.
You
One
getting
thing I
this.
would say, one thing I would ask of you all, since you all are a little bit more experienced in this area, is how do you set yourself aside when applying to job ops? Because one, we're in more of the digital phase. Two, you are usually applying to a digital op that was, I mean, a job op that was posted in some type of group. And three, if you're an inexperienced virtual assistant but have experience in your skills, how do you make that set aside with all the candidates that's applying? I have learned from me myself that I think that I will need to do for any position applying for a video message, because my personality does not convey on a piece of paper.
Mhm.
Also, my resume does not convey that I've done virtual assistant work. It may convey that I've done administrative, but however, it doesn't. So I think for me going forward, as I've been really studying over the last month, I am going to have to find some way to connect with that potential employer through some type of video message, because a paper doesn't do me justice.
Right.
How do you all utilize that service?
Well, there is something called USP, and that's what I've been working on all week. It's called your unique service proposition, and it's basically what makes you stand out from everyone else who's applying for the exact same job and has the exact same skills. So me and Toya worked on it Saturday, and they were saying my experience, but I felt like my experience, while good, is not the unique part, because someone else could have 25 years of experience as an administrative assistant. So I'm still working on what it is that sets me apart. I know there is something. I think it's, I think more of, I don't know. I'm still working on it, but that's what you have to figure out. So that's why I was talking to you earlier about the keywords and the who am I part, because I want to convey who I am in my message when I'm doing my social media and my marketing.
And I think with the unique selling point or unique selling proposition, I think it's for me the formula is real simple. You know, problem and solution, and then the niche comes in. Who are you specifically talking to? For example, in our group is with virtual assistants, women of color. One of the biggest recurring issues that people talk about is their fear to start the business. So I would talk about the problem. You know, we help you if you're fearful of starting this business, we help you, and then provide the solution. And you, so you're talking to someone specifically, and so they can feel you. You know, so when you're in, when in so but what you talked about, Janet, you talked about how do you deal with for instance, you go into a group and there's 50,000 candidates for an ideal position for you. For me, it's all about building real relationships. I'm looking at that, I'm seeing what the person said, seeing what their pain point was, why they want, you know, they want somebody. If they say I can't take the social media or whatever, I'm in their DMs immediately. I'm in their DMs immediately. Hey, how you doing? I'm looking up their business and find out as much information I can about them, and I'm correlating. I'm making connection. If we all both have kids or whatever it is, I'm using statements that can connect us, and I'm letting them know how I can solve their problem. You know, and you can do that via video or our messaging. And then what's going to happen, then they're going to go and they're going to look at your social media, they're going to go look at what you got going on. So then you need to have videos on your pages, you need to have ways to help them quickly build know, like, and
People know
trust.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Someone had inboxed me a post that had happened like 2 days prior. So this is now the third day. I'm just now getting it in my inbox. But um, I still applied. Who knows? They might not have found nobody yet. Today is the day where I got the email that said that they booked for Friday on my calendar. So you never know. Like I don't care if 100 people have applied. If you want to go for it, go for it.
That's right.
Because they might be frustrated and had stopped looking, and here come your email popped up, and they're like, "Well, let me look at hers." Boom, there you go. You,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So if I don't look at how many people have. I did when I first started. Yes, there's a group called Virtual Savvies, and as soon as a job was posted, it gets swarmed. You'd have like 100 some odd people like, oh, I'm interested. Here's my this and here's my that, and it makes you feel inadequate because I didn't have all that. I didn't have all the the fancy layout stuff and all that. Now I jump in the inbox. I send my one sheet, and I'm in there. You see what I'm saying? So you did your one sheet. You did well.
Yes.
Your one sheet is like three sheets, but right.
No, I
You,
actually haven't done a one sheet. I've done my service sheet.
oh, that's your
Okay.
service sheet.
Yeah,
Yes, that's your service sheet.
I identifying the services I provide and what you will get with those services and the payment needed. So
Well,
yes, I
according
haven't
to
done
what the
that.
post is, if any of those services is what you offering, then yes, you definitely can send and say, I'm very interested. Can we meet or whatever? So
and
Okay.
I say go for it. If
and
you want it, go for it. If it ain't for you, like you tell me all the time, what's for you is for you. And and if God say it's there, then it's there. So
Yeah, and you should pray before you apply for well, that's what I do. You should pray before you apply to
and
make sure it is in union with what you are supposed to be doing. So
yeah, you want to be
so
aligned.
how
I
many
totally agree.
groups? There's too many groups to join.
I don't think you should. I mean, what you can handle a few groups, a few. You got to assess. See, you want to have a group like ours. Our group is supportive. Like we got you. You need help with something, we got you. But you want to be in groups where your ideal client is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in entertainment, I'd be in entertainment groups. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Absolutely. If
And
that's who you want to serve.
engaging and talking to them, and then after a
Mm-hmm.
while they be looking like, oh,
Oh,
where that one lady
we're
that
Jan.
always know the answer to that.
Janet know everything. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
so they'll start tagging you, say, "Hey,
Yeah.
Miss Janet, do you know X, Y, and Z?" Yes, I do. Matter of
Yes.
fact, you know what I mean. So you just get to build that rapport. They'll look at you as the authority or the
Absolutely.
expert. So then they'll start coming to you automatically without you even having to ask.
And also with that word authority, each one of you all have authority in certain areas, and so that's another thing on these job ops application. When I see somebody that they say something about beauty, blah blah blah, boom boom boom, I'm tagging Latoya Williams. You know what I'm saying? If they're saying something, I need an admin who's good at Excel and all them spreadsheets and stuff. Who Jesus help me, Lord. I'm
Right.
tagging Nakia down Whitaker-Woody. You know what I'm saying? That's her all day long. You know what I'm saying? I need a bubbly VA who knows the entertainment industry. Oh, duh, that's Janet. That's
Snatch your
Janet.
life through the phone.
You know
We
what I'm saying?
had her take a phone call one day, and we was like, "I know that's right." She was amazing on that phone. I was like, "Yes, Miss Janet, you better say that."
So right. So whenever we know anything phone stuff, we come to you. So that's another thing in these jobs, in these, we refer. And when you refer, it comes right back to you. It comes right back to you. Nakia, I think, referred me to somebody yesterday, and me and the lady in the inbox, we're going back and forth now, saying how can I assist her, with the Dubsado, which I definitely would just come back to Nakia and say, Nakia, you want to set up her Dubsado? So that's another thing. Working together, you're
Yes,
not out here
find your
by
own
yourself.
support system. Find your
Yeah.
own
So
support system.
since you all were able to come together and you all have your own individual companies,
Yeah.
but then you all have come together to create one company. Is that something that you suggest for VAs or no? Or it just happened by happen chance for you all?
It happened by happen chance because I had a client that wanted a lot and I needed help. So Toya was available, and so we just started doing that on a regular basis when it's too
When
much for us to handle as one, or it's not my niche, it's hers, and we just want to work together. But I do recommend having a group of VAs behind you so that there is a referral process, so there is backup, so there is camaraderie. You don't feel lonely. You don't feel like there's no support in there. So I do feel like you don't have to create a whole nother business the way we did,
yeah.
but you
Yeah.
have a conglomerate of VAs behind you.
Yeah. I think subcontracting is where it's at. You cannot do you literally cannot do all the work yourself. You cannot and flourish. And so you do want to have strategic partnerships with other virtual assistants that you trust and know can do the work. And I think it's better to do that early on than wait to. I mean, I've seen some people just stressed out. Some of our counterparts like, oh God, I need some help. I don't know what to do, and it don't have to be that way. So even where you are now in your infancy of your business, I would, okay, Toya's good at WooCommerce, whatever. Hey, Toya, I would go ahead and get a contract in place. And, when I have this, do you want to come on with me? That type of thing. So I would go ahead and make those allegiances and have support for yourself. Because another thing, you never know when you are man down. You will get
Yeah, you
sick.
get
You know what I'm
sick.
saying? You will have to take care of your daughter who's having a new baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these things happen, that you don't foresee. Like, so you do want to have support in your business, trusted support.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can roll with conversation here. Tell me to shut up when I need to shut up.
No, sis.
Um, okay, so you only get to pick one: LinkedIn,
Oh, okay.
Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest. Only one, and your reason why.
LinkedIn, because that's where my ideal client is.
Two, Janet. Two.
She said one.
I was asking Janet. Is your name Janet? Hey.
No, that's a
Okay, if you must do two, I need two good reasons to back it up. Don't
Ma'am,
give me
yes,
no
ma'am.
flimsy reason.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So for me, it's Facebook groups because that's what I know how to do it. I know how to connect with people in the groups. I have gotten or I've connected with some wonderful clients that way. So I wouldn't stop doing that because it's working for me. But I did not know LinkedIn, but we've had webinars. I've been told so many times about LinkedIn. And so I had the opportunity to work with another VA agency to learn LinkedIn. And so now I would not, I would, LinkedIn and Facebook because LinkedIn, you can get in that DMs, you can get in, find the correct search criteria and really connect laser target leads. You can laser target relationships on LinkedIn, and like Nakia said, a lot of the times that's where our ideal clients are in our industries. So LinkedIn and Facebook for me right now.
Okay. So my two, because I got two too. Okay, so I also agree that Facebook groups is my stuff. I'm in a bunch of them. I peek my head in all of them, rotate around, um, and I've gotten clients from them. So that's definitely a plus. If you got clients there, that's your way to go. Also Instagram, um, but it's the DM of Instagram,
The
not the
DM.
stories, not the reels or any other stuff they got going on, but the behind the scenes part. My conversations with businesses and people and bloggers and all that, they have led to amazing stuff. Like we got speakers from there for the show from there before. I've got a client from there right now, but it all came from the DM of Instagram. So those are my two places.
Okay.
So do you think that the digital world has taken us away from good old fashioned networking?
No, because
Well,
No.
I think
you can network online. I've been to networking events online. I'm going to a conference next month online, and there's networking opportunities there.
Yeah,
well,
I've met amazing people online. I met y'all online. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Yeah, you know how I did. I just pounced in the group and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" So, but there are new VAs who are just getting into the industry who may be a little bit apprehensive because they don't have that opportunity to go shake your hand and network. So they might be a little bit nervous, like, how am I going to network? How am I going to speak to anyone? So that's why I just
That's
asked.
another reason why you should join a supportive group. Um, because the
Helps.
group is going to help you with collaboration and what is the word? Team building exercises so that your confidence grows.
That's
Because
right.
that's a confidence issue, and we all have that when we first starting out. I mean,
That's
when I
right.
first started out, I couldn't breathe on camera, so that's a confidence issue. And when you have that group behind you, they help you get past that. In addition to that's networking too.
mhm.
So there is one of the young ladies in our program that we have in VSL Learn and Serve. She was not confident. She wanted to learn a lot of different things, and one was social media. So what we're doing is just picking one thing at a time for her to learn. And so literally, we just got in Canva. We made graphics, and we created content. And doing that repeatedly is helping her to build her confidence to know, hey, I can offer this service. So get us in a supportive situation and learn what you need to learn, and then you can be very confident. Just learn what you need to learn.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I have always been a behind the scenes person.
Hmm.
Um, my intern daughter, who is probably watching, she'd tell you, I don't, I take pictures with celebrities, but I have really got to like you, else I don't take no picture. And so one of the things, even in preparation for today, I was nervous because
Hmm.
I'm not used to being in the camera, but I don't mind talking. Conversation and communication is like A1 for me. So
Hmm.
that kind of helped me over my hump. However, if I had a problem with conversation and camera, then that could have made me in a more withdrawal space.
Yeah, I couldn't talk. I mean, I literally would hyperventilate every time the camera came on.
I
Couldn't talk
remember.
at all.
Her
Or
eyes would be,
I would
your
run.
eyes, your eyes be like this, and that's it. Poor Nakia.
Yes.
But
So
like I could talk.
So what
This
software do you suggest a new VA start with? What program
great
software?
question.
very great question.
I'm
Canva.
smart. I'm just not. I'm cute and smart. You gotta be it.
Yeah, let them know.
Yeah,
Let 'em
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Oh shoot.
I suggest Canva Pro, G Suite. Make sure you have your domain and branded email through G Suite. I think that PayPal is good. Some people like Cash App, but I don't. I think
Don't,
PayPal
don't,
is great.
don't
Um,
do
I
it.
I personally use Dubsado. I use Stamp for my signature. There's like lots of software. We have a toolkit.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll share the toolkit. For me personally, I think a way to get your money, get them coins, and maybe something that will help you with marketing. So I definitely would say, like Nakia, PayPal, Stripe. Make sure you can get them coins online. I'll make sure I had that set up, and then I would some type of, if you don't go live using Facebook, I would like StreamYard, like some way to assist you in marketing yourself, setting building that know, like, and trust.
Mhm.
So I like StreamYard for live streams.
Mhm.
So something like that. That's what, if I can do nothing else, I'd pay for StreamYard and make sure I had PayPal and Stripe.
Mhm.
I'll tell you, at first I did everything that was free because listen, the way the coins was set up, it was not happening. But as I kept going, I could upgrade. So I started off with, free Canva, and then realized that that sucks so bad. And I was like, okay, this is something that I have to invest in, because you do have to invest in you. And I said, this is worth it, because if I'm gonna be out here trying to make some graphics, I want it to look nice. I want it to capture the attention. If not, I felt like I was just, doing it just to be doing it. But it was okay to learn first on the free ride, learn how to use it on the free ride. When I got a hang of it, then I bought the upgraded version. Same thing for well, first of all, I didn't have a CRM. Let's start at, I didn't know what a CRM was, so I didn't know I even needed one of those. I was still using like Google Sheets and um Google Docs and all free stuff. But um getting into Dubsado, learning how that actually is like phenomenal. And then by accident, I used up all my free stuff on Dubsado. And at that point, I knew how to work it. So it was time to upgrade. But I mean, just start where you are. Don't be afraid, or don't say, "Oh, I can't start this business because I don't got this and I don't got that." No, start where you are. Start where you are and build on to that.
Yes.
That brings me
So
to a comment that I posted in the group today.
Hmm.
It says, in order to change, you must change. Stop operating out of comfort and routine. Step it up. Make that call, send that email, publish that blog, do the one thing that makes you nervous today, and watch as the trajectory of your life transforms into something of your dreams. Your dreams come to you because they want to come alive through you. So I thought that was a great quote that I found today, because we do need to start where we are. Everyone wants it to be perfect, and nothing's perfect. Nothing's
Mm-mm.
perfect. So just start where you are, go through the bumps, get over the fears, stop being stuck. Don't worry about imposter syndrome. Toya's favorite word. Just do it. And you will encounter people along the way that will support you and push you and give you everything you need along the way.
Yeah, I think it's important to reiterate that you will flop. You will send a contract that was $500 off. It was wrong. It was jacked up, or you'll forget to do stuff, and you just fix it.
Yep,
Just fix it.
I've done that.
So, do you all still exercise or utilize your elevator pitch?
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Yeah, all the
actually
time.
say mine's every Saturday on Saturday Morning Live.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's exactly what I said. I'm like, I don't know when I had a chance to say it. Oh, LinkedIn, because for some reason, every time I reach out to somebody on LinkedIn, well, what is it that you even do?
Yeah, yeah, people don't know. That's why it's important to craft that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Uh, and I find that a lot of the times when I come into these all these Zoom meetings, is they're plentiful. There's a Zoom meeting for everything now, and they want to know. They want you to introduce yourself and say, "Be ye also ready, baby."
So, do you all have two? When I say two, you have your personal Facebook, personal Instagram, and then you have your business Instagram, business Facebook, or do you combine the both?
I have combined my Instagram, but I do have a separate business Facebook. But my Instagram is combined because I want the client to see that I'm a regular person. So I switch up the marketing that's on my business page.
I had a personal Instagram, but it kind of ended up being a business. No, it turned into a business. I didn't plan on it being a business, but because I have my virtual assistant business, and then I get inboxed on my other account for other business stuff, and I'm like, well, I guess this is not a personal account. I guess so. Yeah, it
For,
just kind of evolves on its own.
yeah, for me, I've always seen social media to be for business. I've seen, so if you're my family, my friends, as you're definitely intertwined, you're going to get all the business stuff too on my personal Facebook because it's to me, social media is for marketing. That's what it's for.
Mhm.
Social media.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right. Anybody got any more questions?
I think.
All right. So let me. Oh, you do have
Oh,
a question. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. I was phrasing it in my mind before I started, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, while she's thinking about that,
'Cause I got a question.
okay.
Okay. So my question is, before I just want to ask before you cut us off. My question is, Nakia, you made that statement about start where you are and then also doing something that you're not comfortable in or something. So I would love to know in this quarter, what is something that y'all are doing that you're not comfortable in doing?
I am revamping my content. That's something I'm not comfortable with because I had it all mapped out,
You did.
and now I'm restarting anew, and I feel like I'm just out there instead of being as honed in as I should be. So I feel like I'm doing something that's uncomfortable for me because I know this is what I want to do. And in order for me to leave my job, I have to make sure that it's the right move and that I'm doing what I need to do.
That's good.
As for me, wow, there's quite a few things that I'm doing. However, the one thing is utilizing my platform with former coworkers and employees.
Hmm.
um, I am now extending and not being in such of a fear zone of telling them that I'm starting my own business. And so
Awesome.
that is causing me to get a little bit out of my shell. Not that it's a trust issue, but I just am a different type of person where I don't like to confuse my entities. And because I respect and I understand how busy some of the people who I am reaching out to, and I didn't want to impede on their time or what they had going on. So I kind of was, I might have talked to maybe different levels, but I didn't reach up to the further tier. So that is what I'm I haven't forgot about those on the lower sort of level. I don't want to say that because they're not lower,
Right.
but now I'm just grabbing the next. And if I choke you, I choke you. If you respond back, then you live and you help.
Okay.
And you're not a bother, you're a help. You are providing a super service that will make them even
That's
better
right.
than they are now. How about that? Yes. What about you, Toya?
I am branching out. I I'm okay. So I've put thought into um, how to, hmm, what's the word I'm thinking of? Tailor my clients to what I like. Because right now I have a client that I really, really like working with. And I'm thinking about how can I find another client that matches that one?
Yay.
Mash them together so that I have a full plate of stuff that I absolutely love. And that'd
Awesome.
be awesome. So that's what I'm working on.
Yay. Awesome. And for me, I'm going into a niche that I had no idea I ever would. It wasn't something that I aspired to do, but I just feel called to do. And so that's a little different for me. So I'm moving very slowly, but I'm trying to be obedient to what I feel I should be doing.
Mhm. So do you all feel, well, I have well, three questions. Woo.
Hmm.
Uh, do you all feel that it's okay to identify yourself as a new VA? Or when you're applying to a job, just if you were at a regular facility applying for a job, you wouldn't necessarily say I'm a new customer service agent.
Your
However,
resume would tell on you.
huh?
Your resume would tell on you.
But
In
more or
this,
less
in
that
this
is
industry,
correct.
we don't have that. So I don't personally say it unless I'm talking to the person. When I'm applying for the job, no, I don't say I'm new. But when I get to the person, I will say I'm fairly new to the industry
Okay.
because I mean it's only 3 years in, so I am fairly new.
And that was my next question. You are 3 years LW,
Three.
Latoya. How many years are you in?
Tree.
You tree too, and you tree too.
Mm-mm. I started last November.
Oh, so you won in. Okay. What would you say has been your biggest challenge up until this point?
My biggest challenge was the translating my skills from being in an office to being my own boss. Because to me, they should have just translated, and they didn't because I still sometimes think, oh, well, I need to be this for this person, when no, I need to be this for me, and it needs to suit me and what I want instead of the other way around, where I had to get out of the employee mindset.
So I'm in total agreement when that last word the Nakia said was mindset. For me, just not charging, some of the industry rates and stuff. And we have a mindset coach coming on next month in our group. I'm very excited about that, because I think it's important to really kind of open up your mind and have a clear understanding of what is possible in this industry. There are VAs that make $10,000 plus a month. There are 100, $1 million VAs, and they actually do some of the same things that we do. They just know how to target the right people, and that's it. So mindset for me.
Mine was being able to know that I can actually do it. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I had an issue with knowing that I could do it and it would work. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I actually had to do so that because, okay, so Nakia, as far as what you said, the employee mindset, being that I was fresh from the employee realm, I needed some way to connect this so that it would work for me mentally. So me hopping up, being at this computer at a certain time, mad at myself if I overslept, because that's how I would feel if I was on someone else's job. It's just that this is now my job. This is now me. I'm working for me. You become your own employee. So you show up. You don't give yourself excuses to be off today. Or if you do, you regulate it as though, okay, I called out that day, but I need to make sure that you know what I mean? You kind of police yourself. You become your own employee and employer.
Mhm.
So it's all about discipline. And those are the things that I actually had trouble with when I first started because I'd be so focused. I gotta get this in. I gotta do this. And they told me I gotta have one of these. And I'm at the computer day, night, and you know, home comes first. That had to get back right because I don't want to sacrifice home life to build this. Because, like we said, these clients are come and go. Home is home. That comes first. So I had to learn that balance. That was my biggest thing.
I'm still working on that balance. Yes, Lord.
Have either or have any one of you participated in a mentorship or internship or plan to do a
I'm in a
mentorship?
mentorship now.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
was that? How is that going for you?
It's going good. I'm learning
Is
some
it
things.
in your field or it's just in?
It's in my field,
Okay.
remarkably. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Same here. I've done a mentorship before early on, and I actually am embarking in one in September. So I'm excited about it.
I have
Yes.
not been in none. I don't know. I don't foresee me being in none unless I see one that I really like. But
Yeah,
I'm
same here.
currently in one of each. And it's been beneficial on both sides of the spectrum.
Awesome.
I'm still learning a few things, so it has been a great experience. Okay, and then my last final question, because I'm speaking from the perspective of a new VA. You have 5 words that you can utilize. Give me some type of encouragement, either in a sentence format or just boldly bursting out 5 words without thinking about it.
5 words.
5
Um,
words of encouragement.
Yes.
Dang, Miss Janet.
Okay.
Words of encouragement. I gotta search my repertoire for them words.
Well, I ain't that I ain't got no repertoire. I can just say dream big. That's 2 words. Dream big, uh enjoy, learn, and laugh.
Okay.
Very good. I don't got nothing.
well, success always comes after failure.
Hey. Yes.
Go. There you go.
Yes. Yes.
And
It's
that is a great note to end on.
yes, yes,
Our
yes.
sponsors for today, Latoya.
Our sponsors, listen. Do you see these right here? Do you see these earrings? Our sponsor today is DaintyCo.shop. Go and get you an earring, honey. They're handmade. They're gorgeous. I love them. And we also have a second sponsor, VA World
Come.
Conference, and that is the grand event that will happen next year in Pittsburgh. Where that? Woo. In Pittsburgh, where we are all going to come together and collaborate, learn, and enjoy each other's company. So thank you so much for tuning in. Meet us right back here.
And can we shout out real quick? I'm sorry before we get. Can we shout out those who joined us via YouTube? We want to thank Jasmine Yvette. She's always here. Courtney Omega, and she had 5 words for you, sis. She said, "Don't abort the process, royal woman."
Yes.
I love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, sis.
Don't
Uh,
abort the process.
don't
Yeah.
forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Meet us right back here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. right here on Soultiful.
Bye.
Bye bye.